Hey tubies, Freakville here, pissing off the status quo for 44 years now. I'm sure this will be right along those lines. What about Satan, the devil, Lucifer? Now, the status quo, the pagan PR people, whatnot, for years have established, something very clearly that we are all supposed to say when asked this question. We, as witches, do not believe in Satan. True, true. That has been true for quite some time. Satan is the all evil entity, opponent of Jehovah, Hasatan, the adversary of God. Is not something that exists in our belief system, but something that does exist in our belief system. Thought forms, also called servitors. And then one up from that. Don't be texting me. Texting me while I'm on a fucking YouTube, dude. Sorry about that. Um, Thought forms. And then egregores. You know what those are, kids? I should have visual displays. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of pretty much ranting. The egregore. Egreg. Gregor. Try. You know what? If you Google it, Google's great with helping you spell it right. But did you mean? And it'll tell you. Egregores. Now do a little work, do a little looking. If you don't know what an egregore is, I want you to look for squat, the god squat, or I'm sorry, goddess squat. And then I want you to look at scram, score, sarge. There are several American deity forms that exist now that had previously been what a witch would call an egregore, a thought form built to serve more than one person, a thought form built to serve the public, the populace, anybody that calls on it, an artificial deity, if you will. Thought forms have been known to break from their programming, gather energy from their worshippers, and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do if you didn't put a limitation on them. And the God squat. Excellent, excellent example. I believe it's Isaac Bonowitz that tells the story in Real Magic of, I think it's his coven that invented the great god squat in Berkeley back in the 80s as a parking deity to be launched to the world to see if it could become a god in its own right. Now, this squat has launched to the world, has transgendered itself, and is now a large, robust woman who likes limericks and dirty jokes. And what you do is you drive around uh, looking for a parking spot, saying dirty jokes and limericks to squat. And squat's amazingly powerful, more powerful than a lot of your deity forms that are out there in the world. And on the East Coast, they have a chant and a hand thing. It's be hard to do when you're driving, but it's squat, squat, find me a spot. Squat, squat, find me a spot. It's Rochambeau. You do Rochambeau, but I don't know how you do that while you're driving. But I do know the limericks and the dirty jokes work great for squat. Now, squat was created, be launched into the world, draw energy from everybody that called upon squat to get larger and bigger and grow, and maybe break out of the artificial deity form and become a god. Squat did more than that. Squat became a goddess. Squat did not stay in the box because the box was too loose. But look up Squat. Fascinating story. Now, I ain't talking about Squat today. I ain't here to talk about it. Okay, I talked about Squat, but I'm not here to talk about Squat. We're here to talk about Satan. Now, in that same concept, if we think of Satan as an egregore, if we think of Satan as an artificial concept created by humankind, as a reservoir for all their guilt, for all their bad deeds. all the people that ever said the devil made me do it, blamed something bad on Satan, feared Satan, read about Satan, gave him energy, all the heavy metal songs about Satan, make that exist as an egregore at the very least, but large. If you think of all the world's guilt, all the people that assign everything bad that they do over to thing, this thing has to exist now. It has to exist by all the other laws that we use in the craft for using egregores, thought forms, uh, plenty of god forms or lesser, even what are called lesser deities exist very much on this. They're invented, pulled out of the greater whole because the people needed a little piece of God, and they gave it a name, and they gave it a body, and they gave it an image, and those things grow. Those things grow, and they may just grow beyond us. Um, so, for witches to say that we don't believe in Satan or Satan doesn't exist, it doesn't work for me anymore. Knowing what I know, that cannot be. And I know it's bad PR. But witches would just like there not to be a Satan so they don't get confused with Satanists anymore. The most common line we've heard for like 20 years, only recently has anybody spoken against it, is a witch will say, when talking to the media, oh, we don't believe it, or we're not Satanists. Yeah, we're not Satanists. We don't eat babies. Or words to that effect. Kind of saying that Satanists eat babies. Or saying that witches say that Satanists eat babies. That in order for us not to get bagged on for our religious beliefs, we're going to bag on somebody else. That's fucked up. That's a terrible way to be, and if I have to explain to you how fucked up that is, to bash somebody else's belief systems to protect your own, not okay. I don't do that to Christians. I don't do that to anybody. Only in defense. Oh, there's my cue. I gotta go answer this call. Marry me. Mary Part. Marry me again. Oh, and hail Satan, I guess.